How are you using artificial intelligence in the language learning process?
With Duolingo, we get to teach millions of people at the same time. And whenever you start a lesson on Duolingo or whenever you do an activity, what many users don't know is that usually the activity is tailored exactly to them. So we take into account everything that they have done so far on Duolingo, all of the words that they've seen, all of the exercises that they've done, and all the mistakes they've made to construct a lesson that is specifically for them. And that usually is done, with artificial intelligence techniques. Another one is whenever you start on Duolingo, different people have different amounts of knowledge of the language. I mean, a lot of people that I have, that are trying to learn Spanish on Duolingo have taken a few years of Spanish already. So we have a couple of minutes to try to figure out how much Spanish you know. So we also use artificial intelligence techniques to try to place you into the Duolingo course.
So how are you using all of that information from the data to develop and modify the courses?
If we want to know whether we should teach adjectives before plurals or the other way around, we do an experiment where to some of the users, the computer teaches them plurals before adjectives, and then to some of the other users, it teaches them adjectives before plurals, and then we measure which ones learn better. That's one way. And another way is, for a specific lesson, what we do is for each individual user, we look at all the things that they do. So for example, whenever we give you an exercise and the system realizes that you make a mistake every time that you see the word for elephant, we start tagging that word as a word that is potentially difficult for you, and we start giving it to you more often. These are some of the things that we do.
How do you get people hooked? How do you get them coming back and using the platform? Because again, it's very difficult to learn anything in any, in any capacity.
What we've decided to do with Duolingo is to make Duolingo feel as much like a game as possible. There's all kinds of rewarding moments while you're using the app where we give you points, or whenever you finish a lesson, you unlock other lessons. In addition to that, this is another place where we use kind of statistical or artificial intelligence techniques to try to figure out what is the best sequence of exercises to give you to keep you addicted. It turns out that, for example, there are certain sequences where maybe we give you something that is really easy, and then something that is seemingly hard but actually is easy to try to make you more addicted. I mean, the analogy to that is slot machines. One of the ways in which slot machines can make you more addicted is whenever if the whole goal of the slot machine is to try to get 3 in a row, getting 2 in a row instead of 3 in a row actually makes you feel like you almost won, and it makes you want to continue going. So this is the type of stuff, the psychology that we use to keep you addicted.
And what other artificial intelligence features are you working on to further develop and enhance the platform?
Probably one of the biggest ones that we're working on is really trying to have something where you have a real human or a conversation that feels like you're having it with a human, but with a computer. One of the things that we have found is that a lot of people, when they want to practice their speaking skills, it would be great if they could practice with another human, but there's 2 problems with that. The first one is that it's expensive because you probably have to pay another human to practice with you. But also, a lot of people have a lot of anxiety to talk with another human, a stranger, when they're just learning a language. So we're trying to make a conversational interface, basically a chatbot that feels just like you're talking to a human, but you're actually talking to a computer. We think that's going to be a really big way in which people can improve their conversational skills.